Hey, what's up, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the best altcoin picking trading strategy that I personally have come across that I believe in, and we're just going to talk about it today. We had the Ethereum merge go live yesterday, or like last night, kind of, and everything seems normal today, so I'm guessing everything went well with that. But let's take a break from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and let's move into altcoins today. We have the Cardano Vasil hard fork coming up September 22nd, and I think this is a good time to kind of move away from Bitcoin, Ethereum, take some look at some altcoins and some ways that you can pick altcoins that can maximize your potential going from this bear market to the bull run and what we will think will be 2024, 2025. Okay. So now this is going to be just all fun, all speculation, some real kind of analysis ways that you can take value investing into the altcoin space. I kind of have been building this theory off of the likes of Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Benjamin Graham, and I think that their ideas have a place in crypto. I think that what they were doing kind of in the 50s, 60s, and 70s for stocks applies more to crypto now than it does to stocks now. And I think people don't realize that they were kind of playing it riskier back then than they are today. So, how would you do that? I mean, you could take new technology, apply old principles, and try and merge the two together, which is what we're going to try and do today. Okay. So, now this is all fun speculation. You're going to need to do your own research, heavy, heavy, heavy on the do your own research. This is not financial advice, and it's really up to you to make your crypto investments as if you are your own bank. I mean, that is 90% of what crypto is all about. It's about controlling your keys, decentralization, getting away from the standard financial system, you being your own bank, you being in control of your funds. And so I treat my portfolio as if I am a hedge fund, right? I am the Dawson Allen hedge fund. I am the leader, the CEO, the main analyst, the senior analyst, and I'm the only investor, sadly enough. But I treat it as a real thing. I have, my portfolio, whether it be big or small, whether you have a big or small portfolio, um, it's relative to you, and what's small to one person is large to another. So you should always treat it as it's like a real hedge fund. This is a real investment opportunity, and you should make decisions that you think will grow capital and preserve capital. You always want to stay away from losing capital, okay? I know that in the bear market we're kind of all in a negative capital space. I know I am, but let's just go in today and let's look at some ways that I have been. I kind of developed it, but I also watched this video on it months ago from Alex Becker, and he was saying if you do this, this is how you can kind of niche down and find altcoins that really can change your life in a bear market. Okay. So I was kind of developing my own ideas. I had that video come in and help kind of stick the glue to those ideas. And then I realized that, whoa, there's a space for value investing in crypto. And I think as crypto continues to mature, there's going to be even more use cases for it. So let's just jump right in here and let me explain what I'm talking about how I pick altcoins and how you can possibly use these ideas to do your own research and possibly pick an altcoin that could be a heavy investment in this bear market, okay? So we're on CoinMarketCap right now, and here's how I kind of do my investments, right? Whether it be, more blue chips or altcoins, this is kind of how I started. So when I was first starting in crypto, I went to, my CEX. And what do they have on the CEX? They have top 10 coins, top 50 coins, top 100 coins, right? It's just like the most basic stuff. And so, and that's not bad. It's good to get introduced to crypto in those manners. But what I was doing is I was coming to like a coin market cap or like a CEX, a centralized exchange. And I would scroll here, we're on coin market cap, and I would scroll and I would be like, okay, Bitcoin, cool. Ethereum, cool. XRP, cool. Cardano, cool. And I would just kind of like, based on what the CEX had, based on some new coins that they would introduce, based on, the big players like Bitcoin and ETH that were out, I would just kind of spread my funds out, right? I'd be like, okay, maybe a little Polygon, maybe a little Cardano, maybe some ETH, some Bitcoin, right? I didn't really have a strategy. I was just getting used to the game. I was like, first couple of months, I was just kind of like, I had money everywhere, right? And it wasn't a lot, but I didn't have like, I'm here for this reason. I'm in this coin for this reason. I'm in this coin for this reason, right? I just had like, you know, 10 coins just to kind of have, and it didn't make any sense, right? Looking back on it, I now realize it doesn't make any sense. So, what is a better way to go about it, okay? So now anyone would kind of tell you that the best thing to do in crypto is to stick with the blue chips, Bitcoin and ETH, right? That is a very, very, very solid value investment strategy for the long term. The problem with it is I do think it can change your life in 10, 20 years, but a lot of people like me, I'm 24 years old, a lot of people want to play with our money at say 30, right? By the time I'm 30, I would love to be able to quit my job or, have the funds to go to the Bahamas or get that cool new, Corvette and not think about it, right? I want to be able to go to Chipotle when I want. I want to be able to go to get a Starbucks any day of the week I want. And I don't want to have to think about budgeting or like, I have $100 this week for groceries or I have a $100 weekly entertainment budget, right? I don't want to, right? I live in the budget now and I try and maintain the budget, but I would love to get to a place where I'm financially free where the budget can kind of be there, but also like if I want a Starbucks, I can get a Starbucks, or if I want a Chipotle for lunch today and tomorrow, maybe I can do that, right? And I think that's what a lot of us in crypto want. We just kind of want financial freedom. A lot of people would like to get like a house maybe, or a car, or pay their student loans off, right? I have student loans. That's kind of what people want. And I do think that Bitcoin, you know, can do that in 10 to 20 years. Right now we have Kathy Wood predicting $1 million Bitcoin by 2030. So I mean, if that happens, I guess you can pay your student loans off. But you know, that would be like the earliest, right? That Bitcoin would provide like I think that's what, a 25x from where 20,000 to a million is maybe like a 25x. Um, but the altcoin game is where you can have potential to make quicker returns by 2024, 2025. That's what I'm trying to say, right? I think we all know that if you're in crypto, you know that Bitcoin and ETH are the safe plays. But by them being the safe plays, you also acknowledge that the returns will not be as much as some of the altcoins that are rapidly developing new technologies that are discounted right now in the bear market and are currently undervalued, right? So, how do we find some of those? Let's let's kind of go over my strategy here. So when I started figuring out that like the best way to go about crypto is to learn one thing, here's how I started. What I did and what I recommend to you is to go through these top layer one like projects. So what do you have? You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, XRP, Solana. You as an investor, as a hedge fund manager, as a bank of your own money, you need to sit down and be like, what L1 do I like? What sector of crypto makes sense to me? And what is something that I can see having a future? Maybe you're like Ethereum. That is the future of blockchain, right? That's what I believe in. Maybe you don't even, maybe you think it's an L2. Maybe you're like Polygon. Polygon is the next thing. I love Polygon. I've used it. I think it does great things for Ethereum, and it's built on Ethereum, which is just like the greatest L1 ever. Maybe that's what you think. Maybe you're like, I don't even want to invest in L1. I just love gaming crypto. I love gaming. I've been around since the N64 and the Atari, and I love gaming, right? So I'm only going to focus on the gaming sector. Maybe you don't even really care about coins. Maybe you just love NFTs, right? You just love playing with NFTs. So maybe all you focus on is NFTs. What I'm trying to get at is you need to come in and say, what part of crypto do you love? Do you believe in? Do you think has a future? And has really a viable use case, right? So for me, I would say like I think Bitcoin is great. I think it's going to be a great um, possibly like Lightning could be like a payment network. Bitcoin's probably going to be a great store of value, but I think, smart contract platforms are going to outpace Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's not going to be my primary focus. I also think that gaming, metaverse, NFT is probably a little too soon for right now, in my opinion. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But I just think it's a little too soon, possibly. So when I was doing my research, it's like, um, I thought Ethereum was great. Like when I was first getting started in crypto, Ethereum's great. I understood, like people like Dogecoin, people like Shiba Inu, people like, you know, people think Solana is going down, right? All these things. I stuck with Cardano. Cardano was the chain that brought my attention. I love the security of it. I love the decentralization, and I love the peer-reviewed aspect. That's what really drew me in at the beginning. That's all I really knew, right? When I was filtering through coins, I knew Ethereum was getting hacked. Well, not really the base layer, but the projects on it. I knew that Ethereum was going fast, building fast, getting a lot of results really quick, and they were first mover. But I saw Cardano was doing just something different, and I couldn't even tell you why, but it just drew me in, okay? So that's how my crypto journey started, when I really started value investing and like taking a real strategic approach to my investments. So, what I recommended you to do, step one, find something that you believe in, that you enjoy. And if it goes to zero, like if your investment goes to zero, find something that's okay because you've had a lot of fun, right? So if you love gaming, maybe your sector of crypto is just gaming and you're going to have a lot of fun. You might lose all your money. Like it's a possibility. It's a very rare chance you lose absolutely everything. But the goal is to have an investment that you have a lot of fun with, right? Something that's going to draw you in and keep you in. So for me, that's Cardano, okay? Step one, pick something that you can stick with. And as the steps go through, like maybe we're on step 2 or 3, you can be like, wow, this isn't the sector for me. And you can start again at step 1. So it's not a concrete, like, it's not a forever decision, right? So maybe you pick Ethereum. Maybe you think it's the top dog. Maybe you think it's the best thing ever. Maybe you think Bitcoin, the OG, is the top dog. And that's all you want to invest in, right? For me, it was Cardano. Okay, well, let's go right here. Cardano. And so what I would do for my investment strategy is step one, find your niche in crypto. Maybe it's Solana. Maybe it's Polkadot. For me, it's Cardano. So that's what we're going to do for this example. Then step two is you want to get inside of your pick for step one. Maybe it's a sector like gaming, maybe it's an L1 like Cardano, maybe it's an L2 like Polkadot or Arbitrum or Optimism, right? But get inside of your step one pick. Step two is to be in this community for 3 to 6 months minimum. Okay, minimum. And I know people say is like, that is a long time. It is a long time in crypto, but we're accumulating research and knowledge. What you want to do is join this community right here. There's Reddits, there's Twitters, there's Discord channels, there's, you can get on Google and read news about it. But your goal now, step two, is to get as much information from this community as you possibly can. Okay, so you want to spend the next 3 to 6 months just absorbing knowledge. Set on all the notifications that you can. Set on like join r/cryptocurrency and just read crypto news. Read overall, if you live in the United States, read overall US macro news. If you live in Europe, read overall Europe macro news, right? You just need to get into the mind of being a value investor, of a hedge fund manager, of having an asset that is worth your attention. And you don't have to go so deep so quick. What I recommend is an hour a day. Like, read some crypto news for breakfast, read some when you're taking a break at work, read some at night, an hour, 30 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours a day, cumulative, right? Over time, you're going to start gathering knowledge, gather specific knowledge on your L1, gather overall crypto knowledge, gather US economic knowledge, gather European economic knowledge, right? Asian market economic knowledge. You're just gathering information. And then what you want to do as being a part of Cardano, like for me, I chose Cardano in step one. So step two is I'm going to follow the Cardano project on these platforms. I'm going to follow the Cardano native project, so the D apps on Cardano. I'm going to follow them on their platforms, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, etc. I don't really use Discord, but Twitter, Reddit, yes. Then I'm just going to sit there and absorb these projects' knowledge. I'm going to get familiar. I'm going to watch things play out in front of me. New projects come in. Some projects, maybe they fail a little bit. Maybe some news comes out about these projects. I'm just going to sit around and absorb this knowledge and kind of get a good feeling of like what coins are doing what communities are doing what. How does this investment make me feel? Is this project too soon, right? Maybe someone's building like the social media of Web3 on Cardano. That feels a little too soon to me right now. I don't think that Instagram and Facebook and Twitter are going to let some random Web3 social media come in right now. I don't see it happening, right? So step two is about you gaining knowledge on your pick in step one and the projects in there. So say you pick gaming in step one. Now step two, you're trying out Axie Infinity. Maybe you're trying out cornucopias. You're trying out different games on different blockchains. Maybe in step one you went really niche and you said, I love gaming, but I only love gaming on the most recognized smart contract platform that there is, which is Ethereum. It's the biggest smart contract platform. So say you only do gaming on Ethereum. Step two would then be for you to join all the communities of all the gaming projects on Ethereum. And you're just watching, testing, playing, maybe getting a couple NFTs for free here and there, or maybe putting like a couple bucks in to get an NFT, or doing a little bit to play a game, or earning some crypto from playing some of these games and sitting around the communities and seeing what people like and what they don't like, and just like what their white papers are saying, what their future things are coming out, what developments are making. Is the project still active in the bear market? How's the tokenomics, right? Step two is about absorbing this community's information so that you can make better decisions in step three. So now at step two, towards the end, if you've been around your project 3, 6 months, maybe a year, maybe a couple months, are you glad that you picked that as your step one? So after I was doing my research and just kind of being around the Cardano community, I'm still happy I'm with them. I'm still happy I'm with them. I made a good pick in step one. So step two validated my step one pick. And you got to be careful to not be biased. You can't, you got to be careful not to be like, well, my step one pick is just going to be great because it's what I chose, right? You know, you have to look at the facts over time and be like, at some point, reassess your step one decision. So, Cardano, September 22nd, we have Vasil hard fork coming. It's almost a guaranteed date. It's been pushed off for a couple, for I think 2 months now. And so, if something major happens where Vasil doesn't go correctly or where Vasil doesn't come out, I'm going to have to sit back as a Cardano holder and be like, okay, is this a red flag, right? Is something, do I need to hedge my Cardano position with more Ethereum or something? Because Ethereum's going well. The merge went well. L2's going well. DeFi going well, right? So if Vasil doesn't, I'm always continuously reevaluating my step one decision just to do my due diligence to hedge myself. Do I need to hold one ETH to hedge my Cardano, right? This is what you're doing as a diversified value hedge fund portfolio manager of crypto, right? You're your own bank, you're hedging your decisions and doing your due diligence constantly, okay? So Step two is getting familiar with the things on your L1 or your sector, getting familiar with the projects, the communities, what's going on, right? If somebody new to crypto is coming in and they're like, um, what is Ethereum, right? At this point, you should be able to explain some cool things happening on Ethereum. You would know what the merge is. You would know how proof of stake is better than proof of work, as, maybe you think proof of work's better, but you would have an idea of these things. You would know what GWE is, right? The gas fees. You would know about Bitcoin ETH dominance, right? How Ethereum's kind of creeping up on that Bitcoin dominance now. You would have an overall idea of some of these things. So you can kind of explain it to a newbie and get them up to speed, right? That's the goal of step two, is to get some knowledge, some good knowledge. Now, step three is where you make your altcoin decision. Okay, so let me show you here. Here. Oh, my mouse died. Here's Cardano. What I did in step two here. This is how I would kind of also find projects in step two. Is you have all this like audits and source code and stuff, but here you have tags, and you can go view all. Okay, view all, and then each one of these like L1s or sectors on CoinMarketCap has like this ecosystem thing, kind of. Most of them do. So when you're researching, you can go to like Cardano ecosystem, and then this should be all the native projects on Cardano. Okay. So in step two, what I was doing is I was going in and I was like, okay, Cardano, obviously I believe in it. That's a good investment. Then in step two, I was like, okay, what is Chainlink? Let's learn about that. What's Nexo? Let's learn about that. What's Cody? Let's learn about that, right? And you're just kind of going down the list and absorbing information, right? What is World Mobile Token? What is ADAX? What is Revuto, Sunday Swap, Ardana, Meld, right? I can tell you what all these projects do, all right? So that's what you need to be in your step two, is have an idea. What are all these things? Use a couple of them. Try them out. Do you like Meld? Do you like Ardana? Do you like Sunday Swap, right? These are the things you need to be able to answer in step two. So in step three, you can make a good investment decision. And these are not like, they're not like blocked off sectors like step one, step two, step three. They kind of bleed together. So you're always kind of doing step one, you're always kind of doing step two, and you're always kind of doing step three. It's a continued process. But step three is where you've been in your community, and you're in your community and you know what these projects do, and you have a gut feeling, right? An investor's feeling about how the tokenomics, how the community, how the project, how the niche use case are fitting together for all these things, right? And this allows you to have a better comprehensive understanding of what the best possible investment could be. What are the undervalued projects? What are the ones making good decisions in the bear markets? What are the ones that are building and communicating and providing value constantly? What are the ones that are kind of sitting in the back? What are the ones that are, they're interesting, but the niche use case might not be apparent right now? What are those ones, right? So for me, in this bear market, the biggest altcoin on Cardano that I have been stacking, this is full disclosure, my investment currently is Ardana. Ardana is the altcoin on Cardano I have been stacking, and here is why. Here's why. One, they got great tokenomics. Two, they have a great niche use case for right now. So if you're not familiar with Cardano, we currently do not have a Cardano native stablecoin within the Cardano ecosystem. So Ardana is a stablecoin hub. They also have lending and borrowing on their DEX. They also have Forex exchange, so USD, Euro, and GBP pairs, which I think is a big deal. People will be able to trade Forex stablecoins between, arbitraging on their Forex DEX platform. They will also have, they call it like liquidations and auctions. So when a collateralized loan defaults, they will auction it off to people who want to be liquidators. So I'm still waiting to see kind of how that works, but I would like to personally be a liquidator, right? I want to buy discounted vaults of ADA at discounted prices, and then you auction for them, and if you win, highest bidder gets the ADA at a discounted price. It's something that interests me. So with Cardano not currently having a Cardano native stablecoin, I think Cardano has a huge room to fill a void in necessary things like what you can do on these other L1s if you don't choose Ethereum, right? If you choose like Solana as your pick in section 1 is what does Ethereum have that Solana just hasn't got there yet? What does Ethereum have that Cardano just hasn't got there yet? And one of those things is stable coins, native stable coins to the chain, right? So Ethereum has like a booming DeFi protocol system, and they have stablecoins. Cardano does not have a Cardano native stablecoin, and that is one void that I think needs filling that I could see being filled before the next bear market, and that's where my investment is, right? Um, Another one is, Melt. This is basically they do a collateralized loan on your like your Bitcoin or your ADA. This is stuff that Ethereum has. Cardano does not have that yet. So Meld could be another one that you might be interested in. They're also working on doing fiat-based loans based on your crypto, which is a big deal. You put Bitcoin in and you can get US dollars out, right? These are things that um, Ethereum users can do. Cardano kind of hasn't really moved that way yet. So I think if you can recognize that Cardano really just needs to do the same, needs to have the same projects that Ethereum already has, right? Like the L2s, like the gaming, then you can be like, okay, Ethereum has these things. This is what's working in crypto now. So now I love Cardano or I love Solana. Does Solana have stablecoins? Does Cardano have stablecoins? Does Cardano have lending-based protocols? If not, that's where I'm going to put my investment because those are going to be the things that developers are going to develop on Cardano first, right? They're not going to build the first YouTube Web3, right? It's not going to be a good investment. It's too early, right? It's too early for social media based crypto projects. It might even be too early for a lot of gaming projects. It might be too early for metaverse projects. You got to make that decision. But for me, I think it makes sense to invest in a stable coin project, right? Just as a part of your portfolio, right? Especially when Cardano does not have a stable coin project. That is what I'm trying to get at. So the best way that I could recommend to um, invest into altcoins in the bear market and find one or two, not 10, not 20 altcoins. We're not diversifying across altcoins in the bear market. We have our big major main investments, Bitcoin, ETH, and maybe one other L1 that you believe in. The one maybe that you picked in step 1. But then if you want to maximize potential of returns, maybe you want to allocate like 10% of your capital. So you have $1,000 in your capital. You have $1,000 to play with, right? Maybe 100 of those dollars can go to a altcoin like we've mentioned here today. Maybe you have $400 Bitcoin, $400 Ethereum, $100 in ADA Cardano, and now you're using your last $100 to put in to an altcoin that you think can outpace them all in the next bull market. This is how I would pick that altcoin, and this is how I do my due diligence, my research, my value investing strategy, because I've niched down. I've picked a sector, I've niched it way down to I only invest in Cardano. Now I've looked at all the projects on Cardano. I've been sitting around absorbing their information, watching some fail, some succeed, some have great communication, some have no communication, some active on Twitter, some active on Reddit, some doing nothing, right? I've tried different platforms. I've made some bad investing decisions maybe, but now I've gotten to a point where we're in this bear market. Ardana is still building. I'm watching them build every day. I listen to the community call every week. I have their Twitter notifications on. Their CEO, I think, is doing a fantastic job. Ryan Matovu. Um, and I can see Ardana providing serious value in a serious hole that Cardano has right now. Okay, so in this $1,000 scenario, I would allocate 10% to Ardana, and I'm done. Right? I don't need to be in ADAX. I don't need to be in Sunday Swap. I don't need to be in Meld. I don't need to be in Ravendex or any of these other Cody, right? I decided the best altcoin on Cardano based on all these factors and based on my time here was Ardana, right? That's how I niched down hardcore in order to find an altcoin worth my time. And you might be completely wrong, right? I might be completely wrong and I lose that $100. Really, it's really hard to lose all $100, okay? But maybe, by the time you realize you're wrong, you sell at a 75% loss and now you have $25. It's not that big of a deal to make a good guess. Basically, what we're doing is making an educated value-based guess. That's what you do in crypto, and this is the best way to go about it, I think. So I kind of hope that that provides some insight on how you can possibly pick an altcoin that outpaces the market, that provides more capital returns, has a huge value-based proposition, and is deeply discounted right now in the bear market because a project like this has never seen a bull market. It has never seen like the shockwave of investors FOMOing in, right? It has never seen um, its DApp release, right? There are some hidden altcoins that can change your investment life, and this is how I go about finding them. I pick a sector or an L1 or an L2 that you believe in. Number two, get into that sector, get into that L1, get into that L2, and learn everything you can about it. Learn about all the projects, learn about the functionality, learn about how they're changing crypto, how they're providing value, where the holes are, what projects are building right now, what projects are providing information, what projects are, communicating, which ones are open sourced, what's the dev team. All these questions are good questions. Where are the tokenomics? What is their niche proposition? Does that niche proposition have a use case this year, next year, 2024? Does it have something right now? You know, um, Most of those would be around the DeFi space probably. That's kind of where we are right now. We're in DeFi. We're kind of getting into gaming being more mainstream, but I mean right now we're kind of in financial applications. So is it around there? Then step three, you've been around the block with your pick in step one. And it's like, you've done your due diligence, you've done your research, you've kind of messed around with some of these projects, and now you make an investment decision based on the value that you think these things provide. You've kind of been here, and now it's like you've done your due diligence, you've done your value proposition, you've done your research, you've sat around, you've watched things fail and come and go. Maybe you've lost some money, maybe you've gained some money, but now it's like you're, I wouldn't say an expert, but you have quite a bit of knowledge to make an informed investment decision as long as you try to not be super biased, right? You need to look at the facts. You need to look at the good and the bad. So I can tell you some bad things about Cardano, right? One, like we're doing great in decentralization. 3,000 stake pools, over 3,000 stake pools, right? Great in decentralization. We are the number one proof of stake blockchain. That will probably change now that Ethereum is going proof of stake, but we are number one proof of stake blockchain, which helps the decentralization. And we are highly secure. Security is the main selling point of Cardano right now, especially with the peer reviewed, especially with moving slower. We're really betting on that security and decentralization. The one area that we're lacking is scalability. Ethereum, on the other hand, great at scalability, right? They have a lot of L2s on the chain right now. Great at decentralization, doing great. I think that Ethereum base layer is great with security too, but a lot of their bridges, a lot of the projects on Ethereum are not doing great with security sometimes based on, copy paste code or this or that, or right? We hear a lot of hacks coming from Ethereum. So that's one thing that keeps people skeptical. So everything is going to have pros and cons. Cardano, it's just kind of, it hasn't matured fully yet. That's another thing that's people would say is bad about it. It's just not maturing. Maybe the TPS, transaction per second, is too slow, people say. These are all valid arguments that I look at daily. I look at pros and cons, right? And so You just need to be aware. But by step three, you should be almost an expert kind of in your area of crypto that you are just passionate about. You're having a great time in, I'm in Cardano, I'm playing with MinSwap and SundaySwap, and I'm, messing around with the DEXs, I'm messing around with the projects, I'm looking at some of the NFTs, I'm just kind of enjoying the space. And by step three, I've stumbled across Ardana and I'm like, this is the one. This is the altcoin. This is where I'm going to move 10% of my capital or however much you're comfortable with. This is the altcoin I'm going to put my bet on in the bear market, and in 2024 we'll see how well it goes. Okay, so I really hope that provided some serious insight as to how I go about kind of value investing in altcoins in the bear market. And part of Warren Buffett and Munger and Bill Graham's investment theories that they say is like, diversification is good, but it is not what makes people incredibly wealthy, okay? Jeff Bezos, what does he have? He just has Amazon. He doesn't have Amazon and an Airbnb he rents out and, a car wash business, right? He is Amazon. Warren Buffett is most famously known for Coke and Bank of America and, right, like See's Candy, right? And he has like Nebraska Furniture Market. These are allocating a lot of capital to something that you believe in. When you think something's a sure thing, when you think it's uh, a great play, when you think it's deeply discounted, when you've done the research and things, you don't you don't sit on the sidelines, right? You pick it, you pick an altcoin or two, and you just invest in them if you believe in them. You don't say, wow, this project is so great. I've done all my research on Cardano. I've looked at all the projects. I love this Ardana project. But I'm gonna put some in Ardana, I'm gonna put some in MinSwap, I'm gonna put some in Cody and Chainlink. That's you don't that would not be value investing, right? That I would say that is too many altcoins to spread capital across. You want to let your winners ride, and you want to be able to narrow down your selection to the best one or two for that small portion of your portfolio that you want to just let ride. Okay? So Ardana is the one I'm letting ride. I'm letting it explode for me in 2024. I know it's going to happen. And that I really hope that this kind of analysis on how I go about picking those altcoins in a value-based manner makes sense to some people, okay? So I encourage you to spend the next back half of 2022 kind of seeing if you can implement this approach to value investing into crypto, value investing into altcoins, doing this analysis. If you'd like to see me like go through how I've do like analysis on just like one coin, like maybe a Cardano or an Ardana or a Meld or a Cody, I can do that next video. But I hope this has provided value to people. I hope it kind of gets those gears turning about how we can use old school investment methods of value investing, um, like Buffett and them, and apply that to today, to emerging sectors, emerging technologies, and hopefully get some better capital returns for ourselves. Okay, if you liked the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment maybe on your favorite L1, your favorite L2, maybe what altcoin you think could be the big winner in 2024, 2025 bull run. But I really hope that this provided some good value, some good strategy on how I think about things, and hopefully it gives you a lot of returns. All right. We'll catch y'all in the next one. See you, and everyone have a great day. Have a great ETH merge, a great Vasil hard fork later this month, and hopefully it all goes well this bear market for you. See ya.